So this door I've been asked to restore, and I just wanted to show you it before I start. You can probably see there's a few pieces that have been restored with unsympathetic coloured glass, the yellow at the top and the green and the pink at the bottom, and also the roundel on the left has been quite crudely repaired. It's not very round, and the leaves should be green like on the other side, and here they've painted red on clear glass, and it's very rattly, so both of these need repairing. I'm not going to film myself taking these out today just because there's a lot of building work going on in this house, and a tripod is just going to be in everyone's way. And then I'm going to put some stained glass at the top where there isn't. The first thing I'm doing is I'm undoing these ties to the bar. This isn't puttied in, this is put in with beading. So I'm not going to film it, but the way you approach it is you slip your chisel in and you lever, and you start on a long side because you need to pop these corners out, and you'll need a bit of a bow. So I've taken the beading out now, and it seems that there is actually no putty between the window and the door, which is one of the reasons this has deteriorated so much, because it will have rattled and shook every time somebody opened and closed the door. But from my perspective, it makes taking it out a lot easier. So while I repair the windows and rebuild them, I put some wood in place, just held securely with pins. So these are the windows I took out this morning, in a sad state. So the first thing I'm going to do is take an impression on this old piece of paper, the design is turned over. And it will help me when I put the window back together. So this is a piece of graphite, and it's lovely for getting the edges of the lead. I've also taken measurements, so I'll be drawing in the outside edge. I won't take it from this rubbing because it won't be accurate enough. This window is the better of the two. Next job is to number the pieces. Now I need to do the same. Transfer the numbers to my pattern. I'm now transferring the numbers from my pattern onto the other piece of stained glass, so that all the numbers correspond to the pattern. So I'm going to start taking the windows apart now, which shouldn't be too difficult, I'm hoping. I always have a bucket at my feet, so that as I pull the lead off, I can just tidily drop it into the bucket. This is broken everywhere, and I'm struggling to get it apart because it's been repaired with something that's glued it together so it won't budge, which might be one of the reasons it's all broken, because the whole point of putty that you put in windows is that it never really sets. It stays slightly soft so that it can expand and contract with the glass in the different weather conditions. So I'm going to leave it whole, and I'm going to use it as a template for making two brand new roundels, and I will salvage this little rust. That's also called a roundel. I've taken the two windows apart now, so I'm going to begin rebuilding. The first thing you do always is you make your jig. Sometimes I attach my jig to a piece of wood, and sometimes I just attach it directly to my workbench, which is what I'm doing here. This gives you a nice right angle, straight edges to butt your new window up against, and you can also then make sure you've got all your parameters just right. So I'll be checking my measurements and drawing out the outside edge. I'm now laying my glass out on my pattern because it will show me where I need to recut and where I need to replace some of the badly matched glass. I used the roundel to draw this new pattern. The way I did it on this occasion was I took a photograph of the little roundel and I uploaded it to Illustrator, and then I drew over the pattern, and in this way I was able to ensure it was exactly round and exactly symmetrical. And Illustrator is a great program to use because it's a vector program, so it doesn't distort the size of your lines as you shrink and expand your drawing, because what you need is to always draw 2mm lines, because that is your lead heart, that's your cutting line. But quite often I will just draw a little pattern like this out by hand, but actually the roundels that were in the window were not in great shape and weren't the most symmetrical I've ever seen, so I thought it might be worth doing it in Illustrator on this occasion. It really helps to have large glass stocks to hand when you're doing a restoration job, because otherwise it can get quite expensive buying glass just to match the colour of maybe one leaf or one petal. But usually I can find what I need from my glass stocks, which is very useful. Some of these background shapes proved really tricky to cut. They kept snapping and breaking, but I persevered and I got there in the end.